Myanmar is on the brink of becoming a failed state, with the military only too happy to now point their weapons at their own. The civilian death toll since the military coup has passed 500. The military thugs who overthrew the democratically elected government on February 1 are now accusing the 75-year-old Aung San Suu Kyi of accepting bribes. 1 month ago, the charges against Suu Kyi were that she was publishing information to cause fear or alarm. And then one of the other charges was she'd imported walkie-talkies. They're making it up as they go. First, they kidnapped her. Now they're peddling falsehoods. These military thugs were struck because last November, Suu Kyi's party won a landslide victory in the general election, 346 seats out of 416. But under the guise of failing to address military fraud, these people took over Myanmar's parliament, shut down the internet and TV networks, and now they've started to open fire on their own people, civilian protesters. It is devastating. 2,574 people have been detained last Saturday while the military shot at least 100 people in the streets, including children. Myanmar's military chief threw a lavish dinner party and posted photos on social media. The coup leader was dressed in a bow tie, walked the red carpet, greeting attendees as they sat down to a meal which marked Armed Forces Day. President Joe Biden, failing miserably in this area despite grandstanding his diplomatic credentials throughout his whole presidential campaign, has called the situation in Myanmar terrible. His administration announced the suspension of all diplomatic trade engagement with Myanmar. But on Sunday, 12 national defence chiefs from Europe, America and the Asia Pacific, including our own, jointly condemned the military's use of lethal force against unarmed people. But surely we're entitled to ask, aren't we, how on earth can all these countries with massive international pull and military capabilities not be able to take retaliatory action to fix the situation? I mean, you can condemn the situation and call it terrible every day of the week, but the deaths will continue unless there's international intervention. For the first time in 20 years, the military have let off bombs targeting territory in the east held by the Karen National Union, which represents the Karen people of Myanmar who inhabit the mountainous eastern Myanmar, but they're one of the country's largest ethnic armed groups. This has led to about 7,000 villagers fleeing for safety and thousands more Coots trying to cross the border to Thailand to seek medical treatment. People power might be inspiring for a while, but surely it's gone beyond this. Is there not an international coalition that can deal with these thugs? You might recall, during the American presidential election, I warned that if Trump lost, the leaders of North Korea, China, and this lot in Myanmar wouldn't be lying awake at night. This is the first international insurrection of the Biden presidency. They've sensed weakness, and they're now taking advantage of it. Does the world watch on, or does it do something? And if the free world isn't prepared to defend democracy, what does it stand for? Well, let's go to the lady whom you believe, on matters of defence and foreign policy, should be advising government. But the government is habitually intimidated by those who know. Catherine McGregor. Catherine, good evening. Can I just come to you first on Myanmar, because I want to come back to the issue of vets, but is there no one prepared to defend democracy?
The short answer is that there isn't anyone, Alan. ASEAN has failed this test, as it has failed every security test posed since its inception. I listened to your editorial intently. All I would say in defence of the Biden administration is I don't think we'd have had anything different from Donald Trump, in that he boasted that he got America out of its unnecessary foreign wars, and I can't conceive of a circumstance in which the United States would consider it has a vital interest in this situation. That saddens me, because there is going to be a genocide against the Karen people if the military get off the leash, and I think the country's on the brink of a civil war.
Absolutely.
Britain, as the former colonial power, is raising it at the Security Council, but the US has advised all non-essential personnel to leave as of today. So your point is a moot one. I think we're in the era now where multilateral coalitions of the willing in support of democratic ideals are a thing of the past. We are seeing an era of hard realpolitik, and only nations whose vital interests are engaged are going to commit military forces. Now, I exempt from that the situation in the Taiwan Straits. I believe the US simply cannot acquiesce in the invasion of Taiwan,
And that's on the
and it'll
agenda.
have to fight.
That's on the
And
agenda.
that's on the agenda.